from here, this is where it gets a little bit interesting because
Yes.
the way I've kind of broken this down in tiers. Tier 1 is just Jokic by himself.
Yep, because it's not really a question, to me at least.
Tier 2, I have 2 guys.
I also have 2 guys.
Okay, and I
And
guess
knowing you, I bet our order's different.
all right.
I'm almost guaranteeing. So, do you want to say that, like, my 2 guys, Luka and Giannis, those are the 2?
Those are the 2 guys. While I've been preparing the notes for this episode, I've literally flipped them around. So I'm interested to see which order you think I did.
Luka first.
Like, that's what you would guess I would do?
Almost always.
I was so close. I was so close to not doing that. Like, I literally had it typed out in the other order before.
So this is my quick notes that I wrote for Giannis, because I have Giannis at 2. 2A and 2B with Luka. I lean his way due to defense, and I'm a little bit of I'm not going to say the word that I wrote, but I'm a big fan of good defense. It gets me going. I'm a big fan. Guys that are good at defense are better in my brain than they actually are most of the time. Like, I put more weight on defense than a lot of people do. I think the reason that some people probably have like Giannis at 5 and they're crazy people, but it's because he's had quiet playoffs due to injuries and people just got like sick of hearing Giannis all the time. I think that's like part of the issues. And then last year was kind of a bummer, but that was injuries with him. And then the Dame thing, which I want to talk about that more because I've thought about it more. That whole dynamic between the 2 of them. I think it's just going to be a weird year. I don't think that they'll be bad again, but we can talk about that when we have more time to do so. Anyway, I just have Giannis at 2 because the defense was the biggest thing for me. Like, he's an anchor on defense and not what Luka is, which is a borderline liability. He got better in the playoffs, a lot better. But even then, like, Luka's defense is why they lost the finals in 5 instead of making it an actual series. I think.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I don't think that's a crazy take at all, but that's why I had Giannis 2 over Luka, and you can probably shout Luka's praise better than I can, so I'll just kind of let you do that. But Luka is very good. I've only said bad things, but it's just because I don't think he's above Giannis in my brain.
Yeah, I just think Luka's on a whole different level offensively than Giannis, and sometimes I just, like, in a team building aspect, I prefer like the highest ceiling for like the best player, and then like prioritizing defense and the other pieces like around them. Also, when I had Giannis's name above Luka, and then like I was like, how does this sit with me? Like, I was reflecting on it a little bit. The thing that made me change was like literally just thinking about every time Luka's been in the playoffs in big moments, he's constantly like, I am that guy. I am this dude, and just constantly delivering. And I'm like, and Giannis is like pretty spotty back and forth, a lot of either injuries or times where it's like he's not performing under pressure in the best way possible, especially like in the clutch. When he's your primary ball handler, go-to scorer down the stretch of games, a lot of times it's just he has very poor shot selection and makes odd decisions at times. It's a little bit of a Russell Westbrook factor in some ways, which is just not always the best coming from your number one guy, especially when we're trying to split hairs, here with the very best of the best.
Because of how close they are, it is a splitting hair scenario.
Yeah. So I don't mind somebody putting Giannis at 2 for all the reasons that you stated, but I just, in my mind, I'm like, who would I rather have in a playoff series going to war, basically? I'm like, Luka's just, I feel way more confidence in him carrying me as high as he can take me,
Yeah.
So that's why I leaned Luka.
And that makes sense.
And then this is where it gets even more interesting to me, because this is, as hard as that tier was to decide the order of, this tier is even harder for me. This is tier 3, and it is a tier of 3 names.
See, we're on the same page so far. The orders might not be the same, but if I were to tier it out, it's the same 3 names.
I doubt it's the same 3 names.
Oh,
I doubt.
I think you doubt me.